What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the Washington Football Maniacs channel. My name is Greg. I am your host. And of course, this channel is dedicated to news and commentary for your Washington Commanders. If you're down with that, please make sure that you have subscribed to the channel. And also, when you do, make sure you hit that notification bell so you won't miss any other video releases. So, the big question going around is, will Jayden Daniels have a sophomore slump in his second year in the NFL? He had such a fantastic rookie season, rookie of the year, all these accolades. Like, more times than not, he was the offensive rookie of the year for Pepsi, and just a fantastic season. Great stats. Took his team all the way to the NFC Championship game. I mean, you could say, what more could you ask for? Yeah, a Super Bowl win, Super Bowl appearance, of course, but just a fantastic year. So the question is, where do we go from here for Jayden Daniels? Because a lot of people seem to feel that he had such a great season, it's going to be very, very tough to top that rookie season. So it's almost inevitable that he's going to have a sophomore slump. Now, of course, if you talk to Philadelphia Eagles fans, they're all in going to say, well, yeah, of course he's going to have a sophomore slump. He's going to be trying to be as good as Jalen Hurts, and he's just going to fall on his face. I mean, yeah, of course you're going to hear that from Philadelphia Eagles fans, who I've noticed are, even after winning the Super Bowl, those guys are so we just live rent free in their heads because they are still talking about Jayden Daniels. And I'm like, dude, you just won the Super Bowl. Why are you talking about our team? They are heavily, I think they're very scared. I think they're very nervous about what's going to happen come the next few seasons, because they realize, they don't want to admit it, they realize the Commanders are legit and they're only going to get better. This was the worst the worst team, that some people say this is going to be the worst team that Jayden Daniels ever plays on. And he took them to the NFC Conference Championship game. So, yeah, I hope that's true. I'm going to wear the burgundy and gold colored glasses as well, and get on that bandwagon. But the question does remain, will Jayden Daniels have a sophomore slump? Now, you look at other guys around the league. The Texans quarterback, who had same with Jayden Daniels, had an outstanding rookie season. Kind of had, they talked about him having a slump in the second, this past year. He still took them to the playoffs, right? Still won a playoff game, right? Believe he won a playoff game. So, I mean, do you call that a slump? I mean, maybe his numbers weren't as good, but the way I see it is, your seasons are going to be up and down. It's not going to be like this steady trajectory to where you're just going to keep getting better and better. You are going to get better and better, but it's not going to be this thing where you're just going to continue to eliminate mistakes until the point to where there's no way that you can lose. Even the great Tom Brady had some bad games, and Joe Montana as well. I mean, I've seen a lot of what I consider generational great quarterbacks in my 40 plus years of watching NFL football, and they're going to have some bad seasons. Maybe the seasons for them considered bad are seasons where they only won 10 games, but remains that Jayden Daniels is going to continue to improve. But yeah, there could be a chance where, teams have had, of course, a lot of tape on him. They're going to learn his tendencies. So he's going to have to evolve. He's got the right type of offensive coordinator to help him to evolve. Cliff Kingsbury, I think he's going to continue to evolve Jayden Daniels without going completely away from what Jayden Daniels does best. And it's very tough for me right now to see Jayden Daniels having a sophomore slump. Why do I say that? Because if you look at his mannerisms and you look at how when he did make mistakes, he corrected those mistakes and he never did those mistakes again. Um, and how calm and cool and collected he was when he was on the football field. He doesn't look like a guy who's just like, man, this is just so unbelievable. I'm just going to live in the moment. And then, hopefully next year I'll continue to have some more fun. Now, this was a guy who was focused. And this was a guy who grew into a leader in his first season. And he doesn't look like a guy. Number one, he doesn't look like a guy who's going to be overly confident. And I think that you gotta know the difference between being overly confident and cocky to having the right amount of confidence that um, you know what you can do and you're just gonna go out there and do it. And that is a category I'd probably put Jayden Daniels in. The category of he has the confidence, he knows what to do. Whatever new wrinkles that the defense will, present to him, he's going to be able to learn from that and he's going to be able to evolve. He's going to be able to counter that and he's going to continue to get better. Now, he may have some rough games this coming up season, because again, you have a year of tape on Jayden Daniels. Defense is going to be ready for him. They're going to know what his tendencies are. So it really comes down to coaching. Can the coaches be able to evolve Jayden Daniels? Now, the other idea of him having a sophomore slump is that, again, he had such a great rookie season that there's going to be little to no improvement that he needs to do. I kind of disagree with that. I think that he still has a higher ceiling to reach. I don't think he's reached his ceiling in year one. I think that Jayden Daniels will continue to improve. I think that, he's going to, the game's going to slow down for him. I mean, I saw a big difference between the beginning of the season and toward the end of the season for Jayden Daniels in year one. So it just seems to me evident that you're going to continue to kind of see the same thing. I don't see a sophomore slump. I see a guy who I don't think he overperformed either. I think he performed exactly the way that he expected that he was going to perform. And, we have a franchise quarterback. Let's just put it to you like that. We have a franchise quarterback. And so Jayden Daniels, I don't see him having a sophomore slump like you've seen some other quarterbacks around the league. I think you're going to see him continue to improve. There are very high expectations, of course, for this team. Now that they've gotten all the way to the NFC Conference Championship game, it's expected that they need to get back to that point. And so they're going to try hard to get back to that point. It's going to be a long uphill battle, but they know they can get there. And they know that they got there with a team that hadn't really been fully built yet. So just think, let Adam Peters cook and let him bring in some more players that is going to help solidify. So that's easy to say, right? This team, and really see what happens. But hey, man, Jayden Daniels, I don't see I really do not see a sophomore slump. I would be shocked if you saw Jayden Daniels not perform as well. Knock on wood. Worst case scenario, if he got hurt and then he was having to play hurt, you may see some bad games out of that. But let's just hope that he can stay healthy, and he's going to be, man, I tell you, Washington fans, we are so lucky to have Jayden Daniels. Folks, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, give it a share. That said, I'll see you in the next one.